Week number 3 of the high school football season, chatting here with walk-on coach Chad Beermann. Last week, another tough opponent as MFL Marmac came to town and got a 34-12 victory against the Indians. What were your takeaways from last Friday night, Coach?
Well, first of all, MFL's got a very good football team. We knew that coming in. They've got good athletes at skill positions and good size up front. And we didn't do ourselves any favors. Again, we had some turnover issues. We gave them the ball early. What was it, first or second possession, like 23-yard line, and then gave them the ball later at the 7-yard line on a turnover. We actually made them punt 6 times during the game, so we played better defensively. But if we gave them a short field, we really struggled, and then they had a nice false key play that they ran for their long touchdown. So I thought we definitely played better. I know that they were a quality opponent. We ended up with a lot of injuries coming out of the ball game. Hopefully, some of them won't be back this week. Some of them, nothing that's season ending, but there's some that'll have a week or two of impact on us.
You mentioned the improvements you saw on the defensive side of the ball, forcing a good team to punt 6 times that last week. What do you give credit to that improvement you saw on that side of the ball, independent of the overall result?
Well, we tackled a little better. Last week, that was a problem. We did a better job of getting ourselves in. Like I said, we gave up the one really long touchdown run where they gave us false key and our backers flew out of there and it was wide open. But we didn't. I mean, last week against Decorah, I think we had 3 of those. We had 2 one-play drives and a 2-play drive, and so we made them earn their drives. But we just couldn't get them to stop. And then we gave them a short field. We didn't respond immediately. You got to be willing. As a team gets better, you're more resilient. You can bounce back from those mistakes, and the defense can go in and get a stop. You get a turnover like that, and we're not in that position yet.
And on the offensive side of the ball, what are going to be some of the keys to seeing a bit more consistency on that side of the ball?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. That's the first thing. So we put our defense in a bad position, and we can't score when we do that. We saw some progress. We were run by early in the second half. We were on our 3rd string tailback because we had 1 and 2 go out with injuries, and Grain came in, and he's usually our hammer back. He does a lot more blocking. We had to carry the ball, and that's why other kids shifting around, and we were moving kids around all night long. But offensively, to answer your question, we need to stay on blocks better. We need to see people when they're moving. MFL did a nice job of mixing up their blitzes, bringing different pressures, and we didn't pick those up. And then when we did have routes open, we didn't have time to throw them. So, we just got to improve on the offensive line as far as staying with blocks and giving the quarterback time, and then holding on to the ball when we get pressure and not forcing a pass. It's going to turn into a turnover.
And this week, another ranked opponent coming to town as Independence going to be your opponent. What has impressed you about the Mustangs to this point?
They have an excellent screen game. They mix it up. They have tight end and running back screens, and offensively they look a little bit like us with a lot of motion, a lot of formations. They've got a couple good receivers who've accounted for most of their yardage. They mix in the run. They're about 50-50 run pass. They play good defense. They're very opportunistic. They forced some big turnovers against North Fayette Valley and got some points that way. And same thing, I think they blocked a punt against Crestwood to give them field position. So they're just a team that takes advantage of their opponent's mistakes and puts themselves in position to have success that way.
And you look at where you're at right now. You obviously haven't gotten the results you wanted through the first 2 weeks of the season, but you look back a year ago, you didn't get the results you wanted through the first 3 weeks of the season, but turned it around and ended up winning the district. Is that maybe a little bit of a selling point to the guys right now to say, hey, you know what, we're not that far away, and if we turn this thing around, we can still have a pretty good season?
We're just coaching them to improve week by week. That's what we've talked to them about. We've got a tough early season schedule, and we're just trying to set ourselves up for district play here after this week. And try to keep them healthy this week and see how we come out. I mean, it's a good 3A team, and we're looking to give them a shot. So.
All right, Coach. Hopefully you can turn things around from a result perspective. Hopefully you can get healthier and keep your kids healthy this Friday night. We wish you best of luck.
All right. Thank you.
Chad Beermann, head coach of the Walk-On Indians.